Hey everyone. I wanted to take a moment to just say thank you for all of the support and to everybody who's been reaching out. It's been fun to see all of the new listeners and just to want to say congratulations to all of the new graduates and to everybody who's been reaching out to us saying how excited they are to break into medical device sales. It's so much fun to see you all going after your future. And I just wanted to again say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who supports us, supports our channel, helps us grow, and helps us allow to continue to make impact not only on your lives, but on others' lives to help them break into this amazing industry and actually make an impact on others. It's been so much fun watching us continuing to break people in on a weekly basis. We just broke 3 people in yesterday, and it's just so much fun to continue to see this cycle of us making a difference in people's lives, them getting the return on investment that they're looking for, getting into the industry they've always wanted to. And it's been fun watching people who've been trying for 6 months on their own. They come in 3 weeks, we get them hired. Because again, it just goes back, if you don't know how to play the game, you can't win the game. And that's what we continue to do. If you guys are really interested in breaking into medical device sales, please feel free to reach out to us at Jacob McLaughlin or New to Medical Device Sales on LinkedIn. Always love connecting with you all. Love to chat with you all and see how we can help. If you guys are very serious about breaking into medical device sales, our average person as of right now is breaking in 8.2 weeks at $94,478. I say average because we've had people break in 2 weeks and 3 weeks, which we'll talk about today. But we've also had people, take 10, 12 weeks, right? Everyone's in a different life. Some people are married, have kids, working full-time jobs, right? Some people are coming right out of college. So I always put that so you all know that that's something to understand. It's the average, but yes, we have gotten people hired in under 21 days in medical device sales, which is so much fun. I love to see it. But if you guys are interested click the link below. You guys can schedule a call with us and we would love to speak with you. But today we're going to get into negotiations and medical device sales and how to negotiate multiple job offers. So let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to New to Medical Device Sales. I am your host, Jacob McLaughlin, and I'm coming to you on a beautiful day here in Scottsdale. We are finally hitting the 100-degree mark and above. We're starting summer early as we always do here in Arizona, but I'm really excited to be coming to you all today because we're going to be talking about a topic that hopefully all of you are going to be facing here in the future, and it's going to be negotiations in medical device sales. And what I mean by that is, how are you going to have multiple job offers and how are you going to negotiate to make sure it's the best offer? You're going to actually make a little bit more money from the original offer and be able to leverage what we teach you today into making a really good decision for yourself. Why I wanted to go over today is I posted on my LinkedIn this last week about we broke someone in 2 weeks, and you guys have been able to see that podcast already. If you haven't, go watch Mr. Joe Dobbs and you will know that it is true. Broke him in 2 weeks with Stryker. Absolutely fun. So we posted that on LinkedIn. And of course, as you guys will always hear me say, is we had a lot of ortho reps who had stuff to say about it. A lot of them are coming from certain companies. They came after me, for example, of like, oh, I don't believe it because Stryker takes 2 to 3 weeks just to get back to you off of an initial HR call. How would you be able to do this? And my response was, we just teach the people how to actually do the process, and then we leverage those into speeding up the process to getting job offers. And some person responded back, what do you do? Just tell them you have other offers or you're going to not take their job. And it's just absolutely hysterical. You see people that don't know what they're doing and they're mad that they don't know how to teach it and do it. And they'll come and get defensive with it. And so I just wanted to share this with you all because I was talking to my team about it today. And I've had a lot of people in the past always come and it's like, how do you deal with people who doubt you, hate on you, whatever it is? Here's the reality. It's like they don't truly know us. They saw one post and they're judging everything off of that. There's one guy who's a distributor. You can tell by his profile and how he's responding that he's probably not that good at being a distributor because just how he carries himself, probably not the best way in business. And the reason I'm sitting here telling you is he's just going out of his way, attacking us, saying just comments about us, and we don't know who he is. When things like that happen, that's going to be just your life. And how I've always been able to deal with it, how I handle it is hey, they don't know me. They don't personally have never talked to me. I'm never going to take anything offense because they've never spoken with me and whatever they're saying isn't true. They're taking all of their conceived notions, which they don't know, and they're putting it onto me. One guy's like, oh, your minimal experience in med device sales, why would you help people? It's well, in my minimal, in air quotes, 4 years where I accomplished more in my 4 years than you have in your 12 years in the industry, that's how I can help people. And I've also helped over 1,500 people when you haven't even helped 2. So that's how. But again, it doesn't do it any good to reach out to those people and say that because it will just get them all going. And so there's a quote I wanted to share with you all before I get into it. It's a quote that everybody needs to hear that's especially listening to this podcast, because if you guys have listened to a couple before this, you know the way I am. You all are probably type A go-getters. don't take crap from nobody. And so this is what I'll just sit here and tell you. On my run today, after I saw those, I'm laughing. I'm going for a run. Here a video and it says, mediocre hates excellence. And what I mean by that is anybody who's mediocre is always going to hate somebody who's excellent or better than them. It's just, it goes with it, right? Nick Saban has a video that's gone viral with being at Alabama. And he says, mediocre people hate high achievers and high achievers hate mediocre people. They don't jive. And so the reason I'm just sitting here telling you guys that is there's going to be hate, but you don't have to go and try to talk to the mediocre people and all the stuff that they've never done. They're never going to actually understand it. And there's one quote I want to share with you all because it's my absolute favorite. You always hear eagles don't fly with pigeons. We'll say that one. I brand that one. That's my thing. I love it. But I want to share with you all a quote that hopefully can just make you laugh. And it just helps you go, because this is what's helped me as we grow our social media, as we do our stuff. And it's honestly going to help you in medical device sales because, again, these are people who apparently have never helped a single human being, but they're telling us why we're wrong, but we do it every single day. We do podcasts to show the proof. We have the people come on here, share their story, talking about how it's real. You can go on their LinkedIn, see them working at these companies that we hired in under 3 weeks. But these people saw one post and now they're experts on us. Here's the quote. I hope this all makes your day. It is, bees don't take time to explain to flies why honey's better than... It doesn't do any good to try to go explain to people who are never going to understand it. Because again, going back to you guys, as we always made the comment, it's hard to go explain to people who don't understand what you do. And what a lot of people do in relationships or whatever they do, they're going to try to force them to think about their opinion. And it's never going to work. These people are stuck in their ways. So the reason I just went on that little talk with you all is, A, you all probably have experienced this in your life. If you haven't, you will if you become a high achiever. And so hopefully this can just be a little helpful stint as we go into the negotiations and how to do this. Because again, these are people who've never done it. And then they're all mad that they've never helped somebody, but then they're going to go and comment on other people and just talk trash and try to tear people down. And this is what I would just always tell you. That people have to be in a bad space if they're going to take time out of their day to go and trash somebody. You know how I know they're not that good? They're doing it during work hours. All I have to say is, I don't know if you're crushing it, that you're sitting on LinkedIn during work hours and commenting on other people's stuff. Because I know when I was in the industry, I was actually just working. All right, let's get into negotiations for you all, because I just wanted to put that out there so you guys can have some laughs, but also hopefully it helps you, because this is going to all come to you guys when you are in the industry. There's going to be people like that. Perfect example. It's like ortho reps who've never made 150, 200K. They're all going to come talk trash. They're pissed off. They've never got people broken. They aren't even making the money. Oh, it took me 8 months. No, it could. It's possible that it took someone 2 weeks, right? There's all the ego that comes with it. So I just wanted to come in here and just kind of go into a little bit of detail from the question. How do you speed up the process? And then they're talking trash on us. Or, oh, did you just say, give us an offer or we're leaving? Again, going back to, they don't know. They're trying to act cheeky and we're just going to make life easy. So number one, who you listen to matters. Let's go into that one. You can get on a call with people, and I have this talk with people all the time, is you guys will get on calls with reps and managers and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I want to work at whatever company it is, insert name. And then you talk to somebody from that company and then you're like, because they said it, it must be true. Let me sit here and tell you, a lot of times you'll get on a call with rep 52, who's not even hitting quota. They give you mediocre or bad advice. And then you all are like, I don't know if this is good. Or it must be true because they told me. Going back to what we always say, there's a lot of people in the NFL who run a 4.4 40-yard dash. They can't teach you how to run a 4.4 40-yard dash. There are a lot of people in this industry can't teach you how to break in. There's a lot of people who never got multiple job offers. So guess what they're getting mad about when we post that we got people hired in 2 weeks and we got them with multiple job offers? Guess why they're mad? They didn't get it, right? So the reason I'm sitting here and telling you is be careful who you listen to. But just so you know, it's why I put all of our stuff out here. Don't need anything from you all. We put it all out for free. We've done it for 4+ years. Never wanted $1 from y'all. We just put it out there and it's like, if you want help, we can help you. But the reason I'm just saying that is make sure you do some research. Be really wary of who you're listening to, because I even just saw today, there's other people now trying to do stuff where they help people break into the industry and they've never been in the industry. They actually have never sold anything in the industry, but yet they're teaching you how to break into this industry. And yeah, it is what it is, right? So it's like, I'm just going to sit here and tell you who you listen to matters. Track records matter. And here's my bigger thing, social proof matters. And that's all we do every single day, right? Is showing that, because let me show you why. You want to talk about negotiations? Let's talk about them. Number two, what do you need to do for negotiations? You have to do the job to get the job. And you guys will hear me say this all the time, because one of the comments in the section was like, why would Stryker choose someone out of the organization when they have internal candidates? Let me tell you why. Because the outside candidate was better. This is what people can't understand. When you can do the job and to get the job and you can show that you are by far, without a doubt, the best candidate, that's how you get the job. That's how you beat out people from internal hires. Because let me sit here and tell you, it's how people with no experience beat out people with experience. Why? Well, hey, the person with experience probably has some bad habits, probably is not as go-getter. Hey, do they have kids and marriage and wife and all the stuff? It's like, oh, they might actually have this going on in their life. I don't. I'm open. I'm moldable. I can do whatever it is. It's being able to do the job to get the job. And it's like, what does that look like? Hey, negotiations come into it of the fact of, hey, why somebody would choose you over an internal. We all know there's people that are internal hires or like, again, associates. That's what's like funny about this comment is the person came in as an associate. So what's the internal hire coming from? Inside sales, which just so you guys know, if you're in inside sales, they never give you a shot because they'll not consider that sales experience because you haven't actually done outside sales, which is absolutely hysterical and silly. That comment shows you that like, what is an associate going to move to another associate position? It just shows you how dumb that question and that was. How you can actually come into it is like, hey, are you hungrier? Are you actually knowing how to cold call? Because there's associates in the industry, all they do is run trays. And then they're waiting. Like I can sit here and tell you, I knew associates that had been in spots for 2.5 years. Like I've helped associates go to full line reps in 8 months, but they did it in 2.5 years. They're still there. What was the common denominator? Weren't that go-getter. They didn't really work hard. They weren't really self-starter. They kind of just did what they had to do, right? We talk about it's like that minimum wage employee. I'm not going to work harder than I have to because I only make this much money. Compared to it's like if you have the mindset of like, I'm going to go above and beyond, guess what? You'll probably get a raise. That's how these things work, right? So the reason I'm sitting here telling you is like, do the job to get the job, but in parentheses, I put be impressive. When they get on a call with you, are you energetic? Do you have energy? When they get on a call with you, have you actually talked to other people on the team and you don't sound like a silly goose and just ask them the questions they hear from everybody else? Just had somebody the other day from our program got on a call. They have an interview because the rep was like, it's so refreshing to have somebody who had really good questions and has done their research compared to everybody I get on a call with. They just ask me the silliest questions, right? So it's like, that's a big thing. That's how you stand out. Hey, do you follow up with these people? Do these people actually like you? Did you have a good conversation with them? Hey, have you talked to multiple people and then maybe connected them and talked about it? And now they're talking about you behind when you're not there on the call with them. There's all these things that we teach on the podcast. You guys can go back, watch the other episodes of what we do. But like, that's how you first off get yourself to be in opportunities for multiple job opportunities. Now, we go into number 3, you have to let people know right away you're talking with others. And what I mean by this is like I made a post a while back and it was a hiring manager got all mad and he's like, hey, this is a great way to piss people off is if you got multiple offers and you leverage them. And I'm like, I totally understand where he's coming from. And this is why, because what people will do, they'll get multiple offers and then they won't tell anybody till the end where it's already offered. And they're like, oh, but now I have this, right? And then it's almost like the boy who cried wolf. Right? Like, well, do you really? Because it's hard to believe that you went this whole way and you never told us once that it is. You need to let them know that you're talking with other companies. And a lot of the times, especially in our program, we teach this, but they'll still get questions on like, how do I do that? Right? Well, here's the conversation. If you get into an interview process, here's an easy way to slide it in a not weird way. Because what I mean by that is some people will be like, oh, well, I just don't know when to insert it. And they're just like talking about something. They're like, I'm interviewing with other companies. And it's like, well, that's weird. Like you just didn't read the room. You just put it in and now it's like awkward in here, right? So because they'll be like, well, we're interviewing other candidates, right? Like it's all how you do it, right? So the reason I'm saying that is if you're talking with these companies, it's just being like, hey, just would love to learn what the process kind of looks like and when you guys are looking to hire by. That's going to help you understand so you're not driving yourself crazy when they're actually looking to hire. And then they're going to tell you and be like, hey, thank you so much. I just wanted to ask because I am actually going through the interview process with a couple other companies. And I just wanted to make sure I'm open with everybody and kind of learn the process for each one. What's going to happen is those people are going to respect you and they'll be like, hey, that's great. Thanks for telling us that. Number 2, though, is what you just slid in their mind is like, hey, you're not the only one I'm talking to. That shows, like we talk about, when you have multiple offers, what you guys all think is like, I'm going to focus on just one company. That's it. Well, then what happens when you get in the final rounds, if you don't have any other offers and you have no experience, no sales experience, no clinical, they're like, should we take the shot on this person? Compared to, we have somebody who just came into our program 2 weeks ago. She's already in 2 interview processes for full line sales reps, AKA over 6 figures coming in right away. and she's in the touch with a third. And how that happens is because when somebody else sees the value in it, now it's like FOMO and they're like, I don't want to miss out on that person, compared to when you just focus on one company. It's like, are we taking a shot? And we'll watch people lose that. Hence why we tell you guys to talk to multiple companies, just so you guys know is what we talk about, do the job to get the job. Well, guess what? In med device sales, you don't only work on one deal. You don't usually just have one account, because if that doesn't go through, you don't hit quota, you don't make sales, right? So like it's teaching you guys throughout that process. But then what you're going to be doing is you need to let them know right away, hey, just wanted to see, because I am talking to a couple other companies. And then what they'll do is like, oh, great, who else are you talking to? Then you just tell them, oh, I'm talking to J&J, Medtronic, Stryker, Hologic, whatever it is. You just name the company. And then what's going to happen is they might dig a little deeper. Oh, what division, all this stuff. This is where for you guys, you can be as broad as possible. Don't tell them the salary. Don't tell them all the other like specifics. You can just say like, oh yeah, it's for, Medtronic GYN. Oh, great. They don't need to know much more. This is where we always bring it back to dating. It's no different than when you go out on a first date with somebody and somebody starts probing you. Are you seeing other people? Are you doing this? Well, yeah. Yeah, I probably am, because I just met you 4 minutes ago, you weirdo. Right? I don't know if this is going anywhere. And by the way, you're acting, I don't think it is, right? The reason I make that joke and have you guys think about that is that's how you got to think about it. It's broad, right? They can't get offended if you're talking to other companies, right? Because they haven't made it official with you. This is why I laugh. There's a couple companies out in the industry that it's like, if you're interviewing in multiple different interview processes inside their company, they'll kick you out. They want you just on one. And it's hysterical. And let me tell you why. Because it's the same company that will take 6 months to hire somebody. It's the same company that goes to everybody. And it's the same company that is like, oh, we're not even going to talk back to you. But you need to not talk to another human being and another company. And you need to be solo just to us. But we're going to talk to 20 other. It's like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. I'm going to date 20 other candidates. You can't date one other person. If you do, we're going to be pissed and we're going to kick you out of the house. It's like, well, that don't make no dang sense. So that's why I always just tell you guys is like, always keep your options open. But that's how you do it, is you let them know right away and let them know that you're talking to them. Keep it broad when they're asking you questions. Hey, who are you talking to? Oh, you can just name the company. Oh, what division? You can name that company. But you don't need to go into if it's associates, full line rep. You don't need do not go into pay. But I'll sit here and tell you, if they ever really press you on pay, just make it high. So for example, if you're interviewing for a job and it's like 70K, 80K, which we're going to help you with negotiations to go up anyway. But this is where I'm just like, yeah, it's 110K. Let me tell you why. When you do that and they start probing, they get checked real fast, because most of the people who are going to be probing and doing that question are going to pay you 60K. And so they also think they're God themselves and they think they're like the best offer. And then when you just slam them and say, oh yeah, no, and you have to do it very confidently and nonchalant, you have to be like, oh yeah, the other opportunity is $110,000. It will check them. They'll stop asking questions. I'll tell you that much. You'll be like, but I'm really excited about this opportunity, right? And so this is how you guys have to do it. You have to be able to be very confident, and you can't be like, I don't know. It's on that. They're going to come and try to get a lot of stuff out of you. You have to be very confident when you do this, but just mention at the beginning, I'm talking to other companies, just wanted to see what the process was. I want to keep you all in the loop. Then exactly going into number 4 is exactly what I just said, is keeping them in the loop. How do you keep them in the loop? Well, if you're going through multiple different interview processes, you might be through interview 2 and 3 and 4 on other companies. Well, again, just close them. Hey, what are the next steps in the process? Which you all should be doing anyway. Hey, what are the next steps in the process look like? Okay, great. When would that next step be? Okay, awesome. I just asked that because I am going through a 4th round interview with this company. That's you not doing it in a bad way. It's all about how you deliver it, but it's just keeping them updated so they know. And then how we also do it is like, if we're in final round interviews with other companies, we let, like, for example, welcome to how we speed up processes. We get multiple offers, and it's not by coincidence that I got 3 offers in 24 hours of each other. How? Because you let the companies know. And then if it's like, I'm going into a 5th round interview, I'll be like, or a final round interview with certain companies, I'll literally let the other managers know and be like, hey, I just want to let you know and keep you updated. You guys are my number 1 choice, but I do want to let you know I'm going in through the interview process with this company on tomorrow. I just want to keep you in the loop, right? Here's the whole thing. If they actually care about you and they think you're a top prospect and they want to hire you on their team, oh, okay, we're going to try to speed up the process. Just keep us updated. This is how we've had processes that someone was in the quote unquote 1st round, literally getting an offer within 4 days. Why? Because you're creating the urgency. Let me bring this back to do the job to get the job. What do you think you do in med device sales? You have quota at the end of the month. Hey, account A, just want to let you know, receiving a high volume of sales. So if you want to ensure that you get what you need, which I saw your supplies were a little low, we need to put an order in by today. Great. They put in an order. Bam. You just created urgency, right? Oh, Jacob, but I got to do it the right way. You did. They're not going to order. They're low on it, and there's a chance they just push back. And here's the whole thing in med device sales. There's always a chance for back orders. We live in a world that like back orders still haven't came back, right? Like they're still always going. So you just have to do it. So the reason I'm just saying that's how you bring it in and keep them in the loop. Keep talking with people. Keep telling other med device companies, hey, I'm going through this process. And then when it actually does happen, this is where the big strategics come in. And this is where you have to learn how to do it in the right way, because you can screw up offers if you don't do it the right way. Something we really help with. And we get on calls with people and coach them through, because it is a very delicate situation. But like, for example, we just had a girl do it yesterday. She got an offer, but she's interviewing with 2 other companies. Well, guess who needs to know about those offers? The 2 other companies. And then we create the urgency, because again, you can't sit there and be like, hey, I'm going to get back to you and sign your offer in 2 weeks. That's not fair to the other company that's actually taking a shot on you. So then what you actually reply back and say, you never text this. You always just say, hey, can we get on a call? I want to keep you updated to the other managers that you're talking to. You get on a call with them and be like, hey, I just wanted to keep you in the loop. I wanted to let you know I did just receive a verbal offer from company ABC. And I want you guys to know you're my number one choice, but I need to see what the timeline is for you all, because I also do need to be respectful to the company that did just believe in me and give me an offer. When you state a question like that, that shows like, hey, I'm being respectful to a company that actually believed in me. And then this is when these companies are like, oh, we're doing this, blah, blah, blah. And again, talk is cheap. They'll keep saying, you're a great candidate, or you're our top candidate. Actions speak louder than words. When you say, hey, I need to be respectful to the company that actually believed in me and already gave me an offer, and I need to be respectful of their time. I just want to see where you're at, as you're my number one choice. This is how you speed up a lot of stuff real quick. And then from there, if you're a real serious candidate that they really, really want, you'll watch, oh, we have an interview for you tomorrow, or we have an interview in 2 days. Oh, but it wasn't supposed to be for another week and a half. Weird how that happens, right? Again, most companies and most people that will like you're talk to have never done this and dealt with this. We literally deal it on a daily basis. So then this is how you do it. And then you go do those interview processes, and AKA you just showed that you received an offer, AKA you're the pretty girl that every boy wants. So now all the other companies want to give you an offer and give you stuff. So now you do that, and now you have multiple offers. Great. This is number 5. Now we create the bidding war. How do you do that, Jacob? Okay, let's talk. So if you have an offer for $60,000, let's just go low, $60,000, and another one gave you an offer at $70K. Guess what? You go to the company that just gave you $60K. You tell them, hey, now here's the whole thing. If you guys are broke and don't make any money and you're like, oh my God, $70,000 is literally life-changing. Like, this is where you can be like, hey, this company gave me $70K, and you can go, what I would advise you to do is like, hey, this company gave me $75,000. And then they'll be like, oh my gosh, give us a couple days. Like, we'll come back. Guess what happens? They give you a $75,000 offer. Guess what? You go back to the company that gave you $70K. You went back and you say, hey, these people gave us a $75,000 offer. Like, I would need it at least match, or I need it at 80, right? Like, this is how you do it. Welcome to how we helped some of our people, like one of our guys, Adam, that you guys can go back and watch the podcast on. Again, always showing social proof on how we took an original offer from $85,000 and a $300 car stipend to a $110,000 offer with a $700 car stipend. We did a bidding war between 2 companies. Now, here's the whole thing with med device companies. They'll be like, well, that's not fair. Like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't, whatever it is. Let me just say this, because I didn't write it on LinkedIn, because I'm always trying to stay professional, but let me state this out. The same person who says that's not professional, or that's a good way to piss people off, is the same person who ghosted 4 human beings to tell you got a job. The same person who didn't have the respect and the courtesy to send a text message and say, hey, you didn't get the job, is the same person saying, I'm mad because I didn't get the candidate I want. It's a double-sided way. And that's what cracks me up about this. The same person who gets pissed off that we get multiple offers, we leverage them, and we get people in hired is the same person who's pissed off that they just ghosted 8 people and didn't even have the courtesy to say, hey, you didn't get the job, to then give you an offer. And then, oh, great, let's just talk about it. The offer wasn't that good. We have a whole other podcast that you guys can go listen on that. But it's like, if the offer is really that good, it's a great company, it's a great culture, that people show that they want you, like all that stuff, that's what really comes in. Because I'll sit here and tell you, I've had people take jobs for $80K over jobs that were 110K because the culture was way better at the 80K. There was a way better fit. The opportunity and the growth was there. Like, it's not always about the money. And that's why I always make it really clear for you all. It's got to be the actual team, because you all think about the money, but it's actually, like we always talk about this, stop worrying about the earning and think about the learning, right? That's a big thing. But there's a way to leverage those offers. So for example, we just did this and we posted it on LinkedIn. Again, go check the proof of it. We just helped somebody in our team get a $5,500 relocation package. Let me just tell you about that real quick. That same person, right out of college, signed her offer letter literally a day on Friday, and she walked for graduation on Saturday. So this person is coming out of college, making no money, signs a great offer. Let me make it all clear for you. It's $70,000 base and a $10,000 at plan commission. So $80K at plan. They are going to pay over $1,000 for a car stipend. So if you just add it all up, that's a great total. Now here's what you're saying. But Jacob, that's only $80,000, not your average at $94,478. Yes, it's why it's an average. Have we had people take jobs for $80K? Yes. Have we had people take jobs for $180,000? Yes. Right? So averages, my friends. The reason I'm sitting here telling you is, okay, they came in at $80,000 and then we got them the car, they have their car stipend, but they were working with a hiring manager who had never done a relocation package. But because we do this every day, I literally just got somebody hired at the exact same company on the East Coast, and they got a $5,000 relocation package because we know that, and we helped our candidate be able to show that in the correct manner and bring that up in conversation. They then did a proper way of explaining it to then go have the hiring manager talk to HR and global, because they had never heard of a relocation package. And that person got a $5,500 relocation package, which allowed them to move into a nicer complex for themselves because they're right out of college. That's value. That's the reason I'm sitting here telling you, know who can't do that? All the people talking crap online, because they've never done it. That's a hiring manager who's been at a massive med device company for 2+ years, and he didn't even know about a relocation package. Right? So who you listen to and who you talk to matters. But the reason I'm saying that, welcome to the bidding war. Because if you can go take that and then show that to another person or another manager or another offer that you have, now it's just going. Because going back to the bidding war, you go to an auction, there could be a car that's worth $50,000 that sells for $75,000 that day. Why? Demand. That's just the way of the world. So the reason I'm just sitting here telling you for yourselves, if you guys are listening to this, you have to be able to know how to negotiate the correct way. But if you do it the correct way, you will be able to leverage those offers. You'll speed up processes. You'll get multiple job offers around the same time or even faster. Take this time where I just talked to a kid. Unfortunately, he's been trying for 11 months and he's like not willing to do it because he's just kind of staying in his old ways. And well, I got to think about it and all this stuff. And I'm like, great, think about it, man. Like, you've already thought about it for 11 months. Like, what changes? What are you going to think more about? Right? And I always tell people, what changes from what you've been doing? Like, oh, I'll just talk to some more people. I'll just talk to another rep who hasn't helped other people get hired. Like, what you guys do is really matters. And you guys need to go and continue to invest in yourself, and you need to continue to find people who do this every day. But with the negotiations, it's all delicate, because here's the last thing I'll say on that. Can they call bluff? Could you say you got an offer for $80K and it was $70, and now they're like, send us the offer letter, and you don't do that? You said it was $80,000 and the offer letter was only $70,000. They're like, hey, send it to us so we can see. How do you handle that, right? And then there's a delicate way to handle that. And that's what we help inside of our program and we teach you guys. But the reason I'm sitting here telling you is it really matters too when you're doing this, is making sure that you're doing the job to get the job. You're letting them know right away that you're talking with others. You're keeping them in the loop, and then you're creating the bidding war to make sure that you go and take the best possible job offer for you, which also will usually come into best work-life balance, the division you have the best relationships with, and you can continue to make more money. This hopefully was helpful, but I want you guys to really hear my heart. I'm going to end it with this. Again, the same people who get all mad or act like they know everything or whatever it is are the same people who never get on calls with you, never help you. And the managers who will get mad that you get multiple offers and you know how to bid them and leverage. This is where I'm all about you guys. I want you to get the value you deserve. You need to know your value, which is one thing we really teach in our program, is knowing your value. It's how we get people hired at over $100,000 when they have no experience. And we've helped them do that multiple times, right? So I'm sitting here telling you is knowing your value. We teach you guys and we're here for you. And if there's any other companies that ever get frustrated or hiring managers get mad about that, I will always sit here and smile on my face. And I'm like, you're mad about that because you didn't have a better offer, your team's not good, or you're not good at leadership or whatever it is, but you're the same person who just goes to two people to give that person an offer. So you have to see the irony in all of this. And why I keep doing what I do is I want to continue to help you all. So if you're really interested in breaking into medical device sales, so again, guys, hopefully you just got a bunch of value from this. This is always my goal. Don't need anything from you. I just want to continue to watch you all win, because you need to know your worth, know your value, know what you guys can bring to the table. Just because you might not have the typical background doesn't mean anything. I'm living proof of it. And we've shown, go to our website, see all the testimonials, literally hundreds of them, with people that literally are in the same shoes that you are currently in, and they were, and now they're in the industry, making great money, having a great living. So the reason I'm just going to sit here and tell you is always want to continue to help you guys. If you like this episode, press that like and subscribe button. If you could leave us a 5-star review, helps us grow the channel. If you can send it to someone you feel like it could be helpful for, it'd mean the absolute world to me. And then lastly, I would love if you guys want to connect, to feel free to reach out to me at Jacob McLaughlin on LinkedIn or New to Medical Device Sales. We always can connect with you. We're also on every single other social. You can watch day in the life of medical device sales reps and managers on our YouTube. We have a lot of different platforms, so you can go to almost every platform, look us up, either Jacob McLaughlin or New to Medical Device Sales. You'll be able to learn more about us. And if you guys are serious about breaking into medical device sales and you want some help, you want to learn from somebody who does it literally every single day, had success in the industry, and is going to teach you how to not only break in, but have success in the industry, feel free to reach out to us. You can also click the link below where we can get set up on a call, where our average person is currently breaking in 8.2 weeks at $94,478. Can't wait to speak with you all. Keep crushing it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.